What's the word, everybody? It's your boy JB, aka Spoken, and I am here with another thing of unspoken truth. Now, we're gonna get on No Jumper. I think it's called the No Jumper podcast. Yeah, the No Jumper podcast. All right. If y'all don't know what that is, it's a white guy with a whole bunch of tattoos that's been interviewing rappers for a good little minute, at least for like over a year or two, right? And if y'all don't know, if y'all didn't know already, if you heard the news about Slim 400, who's YG's artist, he was shot up probably like a month ago or two, and he survived 9 bullets. Okay, and how many people do you know survived 9 bullets besides 50 Cent himself? So Slim 400 got on this podcast, and they have a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like they built a rapport, and Slim had to check him in the middle of the interview and say, hey man, I got a bone to pick with you real quick. And Adam was like, what's up? He was like, look man, you put up a post of my hospital location, so the you know, anything could have happened, man. You know, the goons or whoever could have came back and killed me, man. They could have killed me in the hospital bed, waited for me in the parking lot, followed my people home or whatever, man. Like, you could have been the reason why I was dead. You know, thank God it didn't happen, but, you know, how would you have felt about that? And Adam was like, oh, for real? Like, well, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to sleep at night. And I'm not going to say that he didn't care. I think he knew he fucked up. He knew he messed up because he deleted the post as soon as he put it out. Alright, I don't know how long it took him to delete it, but I'm pretty sure he got a whole bunch of backlash, and people were telling him, yo man, that's messed up, take that junk down, or why would you do that? Why would you put out the location at the place of the place where Slim 400 is at when he can barely do much for himself already as it is, and you telling the whole world where he is. And, you know, Slim got on him a little bit about it. Not even a little bit. He hopped on his case, checked him, pulled his card. And Adam kind of chuckled and kind of laughed it off a little bit. But I can tell he pretty much knew he had messed up. Now, here's my thing, man. Because this thing needs to be reviewed by the entire community, especially the black community. Now, people are so quick to hop on black. People, I see it all the time, and I'm not the first person to say this. You hear it all the time. People always say, oh, Vlad TV, he the feds. He always asking police ass questions, you know, stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that we wouldn't even allow other black people to ask, but, you know what I'm saying, he acting like the police. My thing is, you took your ass on that goddamn podcast, or you took your ass to that interview and you answered the questions, all right? You are in control of what you respond to and what you react to. Adam, you know, he pretty much does the same thing. He asks similar questions. He kind of trying to come off. He kind of comes off like he's trying to fit in, like he's trying to win black people over. And I don't understand why he keep interviewing all these black artists. Like, bro, you can go interview people that look just like you, just as much as you interview us. But for some reason, I guess the money is where the black folks at, right? And whatever, man. If you want to make your money, go ahead and make your money. But my thing is more so for our own people, man. We're so quick to hop on each other, right? The whole crab in the barrel mentality and the whole effect of white supremacy has put this stain on how we treat each other and how we live our lives. And that has to stop, especially when it comes to dealing with other people outside of our group. I'm not saying Adam is a bad person. I'm saying he's a risky person to be around. And the reason why he's risky is because, look, you already got somebody asking police-ass questions. That's number one. Number two, you know, the dude don't look like you, all right? I'm just going by codes, because one thing about black folks, we have no code established. We have certain codes, but it be some of the wrong codes. Like, well, I can't say the wrong codes, but we have codes to certain degrees, like no snitching and all the other stuff. That's cool, whatever. But can we take a time out to try to tighten up our codes and try to come together as a unit? And I feel like the code that we need to you know, start writing out is stop being so damn forgiving. Slim 400 could have lost his life, and he stuck his hand out and said, "It's all cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just had to check you up on that. You know what I'm saying? We good. And he shook his hand. But if that had been a black person that did that, it would have been all hell that would have broke loose. He probably would have got jumped by his boys. He probably would have got killed. He could have been 6 feet under. Who knows how that would have worked? And if Slim would have even showed up and looked him in the face to even say that, he probably would have got on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, on YouTube, and say, "Look, man, I ain't rocking with this cat. Fuck him. You feel me? I ain't rocking with it." But he decided to take his behind to the radio station anyway, in the podcast, and give off his thoughts and give him and grace him with an interview, and bless him with an interview. And my thing is this, man: white privilege is a real thing. And sometimes these white people, they understand what they're doing. Some of them, sometimes they don't. My whole perspective of looking at this whole thing is I don't put nothing past none of them or nobody. I feel like once you make your action as a grown person, especially when you grown enough, a grown ass, you got to be held accountable for your actions, man. Whether you knew what you were doing or whether you didn't know what you were doing. And I feel like I have a real problem with, especially us black folks, going to these platforms of people that don't look like us. They making money off us. They are culture vultures, and we're so damn forgiving. We'll be willing to just say whatever and just spill our whole business and all the tea to people that don't look like us, who's gonna go home at the end of the day and never even spend $1 with the community to help lift us up. And meanwhile, when it's a black interviewer, if he asks the same question, or he or she asks the same question, the first thing you're gonna do is size them up and be like, "Dang, bro, why you asking them type questions? Or what you doing all that for?" You're gonna size them up. And that's the crab in the bucket mentality that we have. Why do that to your brother or your sister and then give the person who don't look like you, who is a part of the dominant society, you're not even gonna give them hell, you're gonna just give them a pass? That's my thing. Why give him a pass? Why? Because he's white and he just didn't know? No, he knew exactly what he was doing. He put the location, he took the screenshot of the conversation and put up the location of the damn hospital. This man could have lost his life. And I'm telling you, that's a huge issue. That's a huge issue. I feel like us as a whole, look, I know Adam probably listened to this stuff. Look, I don't expect to go on the show anyway, but I feel like us as a whole, when stuff like that happen, that should raise the awareness, raise the antennas of people who are artists or whoever, who's ever qualified to be in that position to give an interview. I feel like those people should review that situation and be like, you know what, we're not rocking with cuz. You know what I'm saying? We're going to just cancel him out and we're going to move on to the next, because he's putting us at jeopardy. But a lot of us don't look at it like that. Other artists, they look at it and say, well, that's what he did to cuz. Me and cuz cool. So that's a connect. Man, fuck that connect, man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't nothing but a connect that's 3 inches away from getting you locked up or knocked up or getting your block knocked off. All right? Seriously, and that's the code that we need to stick to, man. Do I like his interviews? I think some of his interviews are cool. I feel like he's one of them type of cats. He try to fit in, like I say, he try to win black people over, but he doesn't come off to me as genuine. All right, he doesn't come off to me as genuine. He doesn't seem like he really care about black folks and the black culture. It seems like the only thing he really cares about is that dollar, and that's why he putting them black asses in them seats and in front of that camera. And honestly, if you really go back and look, he put up a post. He cut like 10 minutes of the interview, and he named it "Slim 400 calls out Adam22 for exposing hospital address after the gunshot," and it's on his platform, which tells you that he knew exactly what he was doing. He knows it's gonna be a money grab. He knows exactly what's going on, but he absolutely knows in the back of his mind that nothing's gonna really happen to him as well, because that's that white privilege. Any black person that did something like that, they wouldn't even think about putting that thing up, and they probably wouldn't even live to even see the date to even give him an interview if they don't, and if that don't happen, they gonna just get their ass kicked. Something gonna go down. All right. So my thing is, why do we handle our people with so much aggression? And I understand it's in-house. and all the other stuff. But why do we handle our people with so much aggression? But when it comes to people that don't look like us, they get the ultimate pass, and it's just okay. And then, like I said, that enables, you're enabling that behavior. All right, you're enabling that behavior, and he ain't learning his lessons. You know, if you're willing to shake somebody's hand, especially after your life was in danger, what does that say to everybody else? Oh, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Crocker cool. He cool, man. You know what I'm saying? He cool. You feel me? He cool. You feel me? Like, y'all gotta stop smoking so much, bro. You know, ain't nothing wrong with a little dro here and there and a little sip of the liquor and all that stuff, but golly, don't let it overthrow your brain cells to the point that you're not thinking straight. You know, there's no way how I could see myself shaking that man's hand and even saying it's all good. No, it ain't all good. I could have died. You know, let anybody put my life in danger. I'm just not rocking with your behind. Period. Point blank, period, bro. Like, whether you meant to do it or not, you got to deal with this consequence. You got to feel this heat. You got to get this pressure. You got to get your issue. You have to get your issue, period. Point blank, period. So let this be a lesson, and be mindful, especially of folks that don't look like us, that come into our culture that we built, that we put our hard blood, sweat, and tears to. And then they just come and just piggyback and just can ask whatever question, whatever type of suspect question to get you locked up or whatever, or thrown away in the body bag, and it ain't no repercussions behind that. Nah, that ain't how it should go, man. I feel like they should get a stiff penalty as well. They should get a stiff consequence as well. You ain't gotta smack them up, you ain't gotta shoot them up, but they gotta know that they can't be rocked, they can't be messed with. You know, we not fucking with you, bro, over here. And once you get one of those people out of there, then it's gonna send a message to the rest of them when they decide to come into our universe, and they'll know what to do and what not to do. There's no boundaries when it comes to people outside of our race that's coming into our culture, saying and doing the things they do, because the money too dang on good, and we are too damn forgiving as people. We're too damn forgiving as black folks. We don't even forgive each other, but we will forgive somebody who don't look like us. And like I said, that's just how we were just indoctrinated. All right, when you're brought up a certain way in a certain type of system that's so dominant or whatever, you think you're safe around white folks. You think you're safe around these people that don't look like you. Because let's be real, the majority of us, we move to white neighborhoods thinking that nothing gonna go down, or at least the crime rate gonna go down. I'm not gonna deal with them niggas no more. But let's be real, man. We deal with Negroes up front. These people that don't look like us, they are snakes in high grass, and they are sneaky. So their actions are more sneaky. You might be talking to the feds. You might be talking to somebody who worked for the DEA, who might be a part of the DEA. You never know. Might be a whole detective out here. He just got on tattoos. He might be a walking experiment, a walking lick that's just waiting to set you up, waiting on you to say something crazy. And then you wondering why the police at your house. All right, and you wondering why you facing all these charges and all that other stuff, because you put yourself in a position trusting folks who, one, don't look like you, and two, trusting folks that's coming off as suspect. It's clearly obvious this man is suspect. You can't put that past him. You can't put none of it past him. So my suggestion is, if y'all listening to this and you're an artist or whatever, look, you get interviewed by whoever you want to get interviewed by, but don't be looking crazy when something happened to your behind, when you leave that podcast or you leave that interview, and then you go back looking back and you like, oh man, I don't know what happened. Look, bro, it probably come from that. All right, and that goes for Vlad too. I went on Vlad, you feel me? And I don't plan on going on Vlad no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't say what I had to say now about him, and I've said what I said about him before. I feel like Vlad is the culture vulture. Now, does Vlad do good work? Hell yeah, some good ass culture vulture work. Oh yeah, he got some good interviews out there, and it's almost hard to get on YouTube and not click his interviews when you see people who you ain't seen in years, and all they're doing is just capitalizing. They just capitalizing off of their privilege, and they just feeding it to us, and they banking, sitting at home, taking care of their kids, putting that stuff in their trust funds. Meanwhile, we just sitting back, airing out all our business, that we won't even share with our own peoples. Now that's a problem. That got to go in the code. It got to be a code sold up for that. Like, that's a huge issue for reals. All right. So yeah, man. Y'all think about that, man. be careful with these interviews that you decide to accept, because not everybody got your best interests. All right, there are some people out here that's really trying to get you out of here. Some people that's just working for other folks, and you don't even see it because you think they cool because they smoking weed and they got tattoos and they cussing. Like Adam smokes weed with his interviewees and cuss and do all this other stuff, like I said, to try to fit in. But that ain't cool to me, man. Like prove it otherwise. All right, prove it otherwise by shutting your damn mouth. Prove it otherwise by not tweeting out or posting up locations that's gonna get our brother or sister knocked off. Because at the end of the day, man, if Slim 400 would have died, I can for sure you it would have still been niggas going to his interview, still running their mouth and just being like, oh, you know, he good with me. He good with me, bro. Hey, yeah, man, he good with me, bro. He good people. Well, if that nigga right there, though, I don't rock with him, though. He be coming on his vibe kind of funny. But this fool got some suspect vibes, too. Think about that, man. All right, peace. Oh, make sure y'all subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you hit all, get the FCHW Faith, Consistency, and Hard Work merchandise. Appreciate y'all for showing love to the channel. Go watch the Spoken Reasons regular page. Well, regular, but the primary page with all my dope stuff, my films, my skits, my music, all that stuff. Poetry, everything, the whole nine. And then make sure you tell all your folks about the Unspoken Truth YouTube channel and podcast. I'm your boy JP, aka Spoken, and I stop touching these crackers.